Antioquia Railway Workshops, Medellin. Abandoned since 1992, the ruins are haunted by workers who perished inside. The Antioquia Railway Workshops in Medellin, specifically the Talleres del Ferrocarril de Antioquia located in the Bello municipality, are a cornerstone of local industrial history and a well-known site for ghost stories. The haunting of the workshops. Since the railway's decline and the workshop's closure in 1992, the abandoned ruins have gained a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Antioquia. The lost workers' local legends claim the site is haunted by the spirits of workers who died during industrial accidents or from the harsh conditions within the complex. Reported phenomena: visitors and former security guards have reported auditory anomalies, the sound of heavy machinery running and the clanging of metal on metal, despite no operational equipment remaining. Apparitions: shadows moving between the rusted locomotives and figures in old-fashioned work uniforms seen in the periphery. Poltergeist activity: unexplained slams, footsteps, and lights flickering in preserved sections. The workshops were once the heart of the Antioquia Railway, which transformed the region's economy by connecting Medellin to the Magdalena River. The cursed locomotive adding to the eerie atmosphere. The very first locomotive intended for Medellin No. 1 famously disappeared off the map after falling into an abyss during transport. Preservation: today, parts of the workshops have been restored to house the Bello Public Library and the Railway Museum, though the decaying industrial areas nearby continue to fuel supernatural rumors. Aranjuez Mental Asylum. A building that once was home to Manicomio de Aranjuez was subject of paranormal memories from its former employees. A surveillant confessed one night he found a ghost roaming the second floor, and after that night round he left his Joe. The Aranjuez Mental Asylum, Manicomio de Aranjuez, is a reportedly haunted building located in the Aranjuez neighborhood of Medellin, Colombia. It is frequently associated with chilling local legends and paranormal accounts from former employees and residents. Ghost stories and legends. The most prominent ghost stories from the asylum include: the second-floor ghost. A former security guard reported a terrifying encounter with a ghost roaming the second floor during his night shift. The experience was so unsettling that he resigned from his job immediately after the incident. Paranormal memories. Many former employees have shared paranormal memories, describing unexplained sounds, sightings, and a heavy atmosphere that lingered in the halls long after the facility ceased its original operations. Residual energy. Like many historical psychiatric institutions, the building is believed by locals to hold the emotional imprint or residual energy of the many patients who suffered there under archaic medical practices. The building is a significant landmark in Medellin's Aranjuez district. While it is often referred to in ghost lore as the Aranjuez Asylum, the structure has served various purposes over the years. Aranjuez Mental Asylum. A building that once was home to Manicomio de Aranjuez was subject of the Calcada do Amparo in Macau, now a vibrant and Instagrammable alley, is home to one of the city's most gruesome urban legends, earning it the historical nickname, Cannibal Alley. Cannibal Alley. The most prominent ghost stories originate from the Second Sino-Japanese War, World War II, a period when Macau suffered from severe food shortages and isolation. He Fat Lady and the Meat Buns. Legend tells of an overweight woman walking down the alley late at night who suddenly vanished. It is said she was kidnapped by a local restaurant owner desperate for meat. Her body was allegedly used as the main ingredient for char siu bao barbecued pork buns. The Sweeney Todd of Macau. Another version of the tale describes a figure similar to Sweeney Todd who specifically targeted fat people entering the alley, selling their meat in the market for profit. The warehouse fire. A secondary legend claims that people were kidnapped and locked inside a house or warehouse on the street. A massive fire broke out, killing everyone trapped inside. Locals believe the spirits of these victims still haunt the area. Hauntings. Believers and locals have reported several eerie occurrences in the alley, especially after dark. Wailing and crying. Passers-by have claimed to hear the faint, chilling sounds of someone crying or wailing, believed to be the voices of those who perished in the fire. Ghostly apparitions. The spirits of those allegedly killed for meat are said to haunt the street at night. Despite its dark past, you can find the street today as a popular tourist spot known for its colorful murals and unique shops. Are you looking for more haunted locations in Macau, or would you like to know about the best times to visit Calcutta do Amparo to see its famous murals? Clínica del Sagrado Corazón, Medellín. The Clínica del Sagrado Corazón in Medellín is famous in local folklore for its paranormal activity, particularly tied to its historical connection to a French-style house built in 1869 by Ricardo Botero. The most prominent ghost stories associated with the clinic include spiritist manifestations in the 1920s. The house on the clinic grounds was reportedly used for spiritist sessions. It is said that these sessions left a supernatural imprint, with modern-day witnesses reporting the sudden appearance of mysterious scents such as flowers or perfume from nowhere. The Moaning Man. Similar to other haunted spots in Medellín, such as Colinas del Poblado, there are urban legends of a moaning man who manifests on the upper floors, creating an eerie atmosphere for late-night staff and patients. General hospital hauntings. Like many older medical institutions in the city, the clinic is often mentioned in local, paranormal routes, due to its long history and the heavy emotional weight of the building. The most notable ghost story associated with Colinas del Poblado in Medellín involves a haunting on the fourth floor of a building in that area. The Moaning Man of Colinas del Poblado. The manifestation witnesses have reported the recurring presence of a moaning man who appears or is heard on the fourth floor of the building. The activity. The spirit is primarily known for its unsettling vocalizations, specifically long, agonized moans that can be heard echoing through the halls. Gia Hill in Macau is home to one of the city's most famous urban legends, centered on a haunting encounter involving a rookie policeman and a group of ghost runners. The Ghost Runners. According to local lore, specifically stories from the 1960s or 70s, a young rookie policeman decided to challenge the mountain's haunted reputation. He set out to run a lap around the hill at night while holding a lit incense stick, traditionally considered food for spirits in Chinese culture. As he neared the end of his lap, he reportedly heard the sound of many footsteps behind him. Upon turning around, he saw a crowd of ghosts running after him. Horrified, he dropped the incense and fled, watching as the spirits stopped to consume the incense he had left behind. The burial history. The hill's haunted reputation stems from the fact that Chinese ancestors traditionally buried their dead in mountains. Gia Hill was once dotted with graves before its modern development. The tunnels. Local children were often told that if they were naughty, they would be locked in the underground tunnels of Gia Hill, where the ghosts of the deceased would come out to play at night. Local taboo. A common warning among locals is that if you go jogging on Gia Hill after sundown, you must never turn your head to see what is behind you, regardless of any sounds you hear. Physical remnants. To this day, visitors can find engraved stone slabs near the entrance to Gia Fortress that mark old graves, as some Chinese tombstones were reportedly used as construction material for the roads. Nutibara, Medellin Nutibara. Many people have jumped from its windows and balconies. Children's laughter, shadows, and objects moving by themselves have been reported. In downtown Medellin is one of the city's most storied landmarks, and its nearly 80-year history has fostered several chilling legends. Paranormal activity. As a classic Art Deco building from the 1940s, its long, dark hallways and creepy original art pieces often unsettle solo travelers. Common reports include shadows and apparitions. Guests have claimed to see dark shadows and full apparitions moving through the rooms and corridors. Children's laughter. Unexplained sounds of children laughing or playing have been reported by visitors, even when no children are staying nearby. Poltergeist activity. There are accounts of objects moving on their own and lights flickering without a clear technical cause. The hotel's reputation as a haunted location is tied to several dark historical claims. Tragic deaths. A recurring legend states that many individuals have jumped to their deaths from the hotel's windows and balconies over the decades, leaving behind lingering spirits. The ghosts of Medellin. Some locals believe the hotel acts as a sort of container or prison for many of the city's wandering spirits, a concept explored in local academic studies. Hidden tunnels. Urban explorers and local storytellers often point to rumored hidden tunnels beneath the hotel that connect it to other historic parts of downtown Medellin, which are said to be hubs for paranormal energy. La Catedral, Medellin. The most prominent ghost story surrounding La Catedral in Medellin, specifically Envigado, involves the restless spirit of its former inmate, Pablo Escobar. Since the property was transformed into a Benedictine monastery and a home for the elderly in 2007, residents and monks have reported numerous paranormal occurrences linked to the site's dark history. The ghost of Escobar. Some monks and visitors claim that Escobar's ghost still makes nighttime appearances on the grounds, roaming the paths he once walked during his imprisonment. Auditory phenomena. Residents frequently report hearing strange noises, including unexplained footsteps and voices in the late hours. Negative energy. Visitors and locals often describe the site as having a cold or negative energy, which many attribute to the brutal murders and tortures that took place within the complex before Escobar's escape. Spirits in limbo. The lead priest at the monastery has stated that the trail of crimes committed there has left a latent energy, and that they often sense presences they believe are spirits stuck in limbo. The haunting legends are deeply rooted in the violent events that occurred during Escobar's 13-month stay from 1991 to 1992. Internal murders. Escobar famously ordered the torture and murder of several lieutenants, the Galeano and Moncada brothers, within the prison walls. Hidden remains. After Escobar's death, Treasure hunters searching the grounds for buried Caleta's hidden cache reportedly discovered human remains instead. Monastic cleansing. The current Benedictine monks use the site for religious healing and cleansing sessions to combat what they describe as evil spirits or negative legacies left behind by the cartel. Are you planning to visit La Catedral, or would you like to know more about other reportedly haunted sites in Medellin? La Loma de los Bernal. The legend of La Loma de los Bernal centers on a white specter that is said to haunt the western hills of Medellin, Colombia. The legend of the white specter. Locals believe that a ghostly white figure appears walking on the hill during particularly foggy nights. This haunting is often tied to the area's deep history and urbanization. Ancient burial grounds. Before becoming a modern residential neighborhood, the hill was home to the Aburrays, an indigenous people. Disrupted rest. When the area was urbanized, ancient tombs and indigenous treasures were uncovered. It is widely believed that the disturbance of these burial sites is what caused the spirits to wander the hill. The experience witnesses describe a white specter or misty figure that blends into the thick fog common in that part of the city, making it difficult to distinguish between the weather and the supernatural. La Loma de los Bernal is located in the Belén district of Medellin. While today it is a popular residential zone known for its views of the city, its history as an indigenous territory remains a central part of its local folklore. It is often mentioned alongside other haunted Medellin landmarks, such as the San Pedro Cemetery, where similar specters and shadows are reported due to the city's turbulent past. Puente del Diablo, Envigado. The Puente del Diablo Devil's Bridge in Envigado, Antioquia, Colombia, is central to a local urban legend regarding the restless spirit of a deceased construction worker. The trapped worker. According to local folklore, the bridge is haunted by the spirit of a worker who died during its construction under mysterious or unknown circumstances. The haunting, it is believed that his soul remains trapped at the site. Reported encounters. Passers-by and street walkers have reported being terrified by a supernatural presence or feeling an ominous energy while crossing the bridge, especially at night. The Puente del Diablo is often cited alongside other haunted hotspots in the municipality. A haunted house near a mango tree in the backyard of a local residence. The ghost of a young boy is said to appear to residents. Envigado Municipal Theater. Before its destruction, this site was famous for ghostly footsteps and chairs moving on their own in the auditorium and parking areas. San Pedro Cemetery, Medellin. The Cementerio Museo San Pedro Cemetery Museum in Medellin is steeped in eerie legends and paranormal reports, often tied to the city's turbulent history and its grand, marble mausoleums. Ghost stories and phenomena. The moving statues. Some of the most enduring legends involve the cemetery's elaborate Carrara marble sculptures. Visitors and staff have reported seeing these statues shift positions or move slightly when not being directly observed. Shadow figures and specters. Dark shadows and ghostly specters are frequently reported among the tomb-lined galleries. Locals often attribute these sightings to the many souls of people murdered during cartel times whose resting places were sometimes disturbed or profaned. Phantom sounds. Witnesses have reported hearing crying, shouting, and screaming that seems to come from nowhere, particularly near certain walls of tombs. The witch's house. There are local urban legends regarding a witch's house or specific spots within the cemetery associated with witchcraft or occult practices. Historical figures. The cemetery is the final resting place for prominent figures like tango legend Carlos Gardel, writer Jorge Isaacs, and various former presidents. Some visitors claim to feel a heavy presence near these grander mausoleums. Noche de Luna Llena. To embrace its mysterious atmosphere, the cemetery hosts Noche de Luna Llena, full moon night events. These nocturnal tours feature theater and dance performances that highlight the site's history and legends. Grave Hunters tours. Several guided experiences, such as the terrific Tombstone Tour, delve into these stories and secrets that standard history books might miss. Santa Cruz, Medellin. In the Santa Cruz neighborhood of Medellin's Comuna 2, local legend tells of a haunted three-story building that is a well-known site for paranormal activity. The three-story building. While many specifics of its history remain part of oral tradition, this building is frequently cited in lists of the most haunted locations in Antioquia. Location: Santa Cruz neighborhood, which is part of the northwestern communes of Medellin. Structure: a distinct three-floor residential or mixed-use building. Apparitions: neighbors and passers-by have reported seeing shadowy figures moving behind the windows of floors known to be empty. Auditory hauntings: disembodied voices, heavy footsteps on the upper floors, and the sound of furniture being dragged across the floor at night when the building is silent. Unexplained lights. Lights are said to flicker or turn on and off in rooms where no one is present. Santa Cruz is a densely populated area where urban legends often intertwine with the city's complex history. High-profile ghost stories in Medellin are frequently linked to the dark side of the city's past, including the era of the Medellin cartel. Other nearby haunted sites include Tapsisi Square. Although the plan, after World War II, was to build residential complexes where now stands the majestic and wide Tapsisi Square, several construction workers then reported accidents and ghost sightings and were scared away. The project didn't go forward, and local knowledge affirms the bones of abandoned bodies are still buried underground. Some also say the area was kept open wide like it absorbs sunshine during the day to breathe. Well, don't get scared by this tale though, because it might just be what it is, a scary story. Tapsisi Square might be haunted, but it surely has its charms. From the beautiful and modern Central Library to one of Macau's best public swimming pools, to restaurants and cafes, there's a lot to explore around here. Tapsisi Square in Macau is a vibrant cultural hub today, but it is often associated with local ghost stories due to its history and the surrounding landmarks. The empty football field. Before its modern redevelopment into a paved plaza, Tapsisi Square was a sandy football field for decades. Local lore and urban legends often mention the area as being haunted by the past. The sounds of the past. Some locals and visitors have claimed to hear the sounds of children laughing and playing when the square is empty, a spectral echo of its long history as a popular playground for youth in the 1930s and 40s. A spooky transition, when the field was first converted into the large, open square it is today. Some residents felt the vast, empty space at night carried a heavy or eerie atmosphere compared to its lively daytime festivities. Nearby haunted landmarks. The square's reputation is also bolstered by its proximity to other locations famously cited in Macau's ghost stories. Hotel Estoril, located very close to Tap CC Square, this shuttered hotel is one of Macau's most famous haunted spots. Urban explorers and locals have long shared stories of ghostly sightings and strange occurrences within its decaying walls. The Glass House, the Tap CC Square Commercial Center, known as the Glass House, has occasionally hosted immersive horror experiences or art performances that lean into themes of hauntings and spirits, further cementing the square's connection to the supernatural in the public mind. Despite these legends, Tap CC Square is now primarily known for its festive spirit. It regularly hosts major public events that ironically celebrate the spooky side of culture. Halloween festivities. The square is a primary location for large-scale Halloween events where people dress up and participate in themed activities. Cultural art. It often features avant-garde art installations that explore themes like the machine ghost in the human shell, blending modern technology with traditional concepts of hauntings. The Caobao Road subway station in Shanghai is widely regarded as one of the most haunted metro stations in the world. Located on Metro Line 1 and Line 12 in the Sui district, it is the subject of several chilling urban legends. The station's eerie reputation is often attributed to its location and poor feng shui. Death. The station is situated near the Longhua Crematory or Longhua Mortuary, a place where many believe spirits gather. Restroom location. Some stories specifically point out that the ladies' restroom is the closest point to the mortuary, making it a focal point for supernatural sightings. Believers and staff have reported numerous unexplained incidents over the years. Passengers have claimed to see people suddenly fall from the platform onto the tracks as if they were pushed or dragged by an invisible force. The Girl in Red. Staff and commuters have reported seeing a girl dressed in red sitting on the station chairs late at night. She is rumored to be the spirit of a young woman who committed suicide at the station. Ghostly laughter and voices. Maintenance workers cleaning the tracks after hours have reported hearing a woman's laughter echoing from the dark tunnels when no one else was present. Mechanical malfunctions. There are frequent reports of trains stopping abruptly for no reason or experiencing sudden breakdowns specifically at this station. Disappearing calls for help. At least one passenger reported hearing someone calling for help from inside a train, but upon investigating, the car was completely empty. The Old Gobernación de Antioquia. Ghost stories surrounding the old Gobernación de Antioquia, now the Rafael Uribe Palace of Culture, in Medellín center on common paranormal phenomena reported by night guards and maintenance staff. The building, a Gothic-style landmark designed by Belgian architect Augustin Gevaerts, is said to be haunted by spirits of past workers or those connected to the city's tumultuous history. Common reports include poltergeist activity, doors and windows frequently opening and closing on their own, even when locked. Disembodied sounds, distinct footsteps echoing in the hallways and the sound of heavy furniture or objects slamming in empty rooms. Electrical disturbances, lights switching on and off spontaneously throughout the building at night. History. The building served as the seat of the government of Antioquia before being repurposed as a cultural center. Its dark, intricate Gothic architecture often adds to the eerie atmosphere reported by those inside after dark. Other nearby hauntings. Medellin has several other well-known ghost locations, such as the Antioquia Railway Workshops, where spirits of deceased workers are said to remain, and the French-style house owned by the Clínica del Sagrado Corazón, known for sudden mysterious scents appearing from nowhere. The Chiu Mansion in Shanghai. The ghost story of the Chiu Mansion or Chiu family mansion in Shanghai is a famous urban legend involving the mysterious disappearance of two wealthy brothers and the phantom animals that allegedly still guard their former estate. In the early 20th century, two brothers from Shandong moved to Shanghai as migrant workers. They reportedly struck it rich overnight after discovering a warehouse full of abandoned paint following World War I, just as prices for the material were skyrocketing. With their new fortune, they built two identical, lavish Baroque-style mansions in the heart of the city. Their lifestyle was famously eccentric. They filled their sprawling gardens with exotic animals, including Burmese tigers, crocodiles, and peacocks. At the height of their wealth and notoriety, the brothers mysteriously disappeared. The mansions fell into deep disrepair, and the exotic pets they left behind eventually died from neglect. Phantom animals. Night guards at the nearby Four Seasons Hotel have reported hearing and seeing strange, spectral animals roaming the abandoned grounds. Unexplained attacks. Several workers and guards claimed to have been bitten by invisible animals, with some requiring hospital treatment for mysterious puncture wounds. One worker reportedly even tried to attack his boss, claiming the lizards made him do it. The relocation. To make way for high-rises and road expansion, the remaining mansion was famously moved 57 meters in 2009. Believers say this disturbance only served to further aggravate the restless spirits of the animals. The Weoking Mansion, formerly known as the Normandy Apartment, in Shanghai, was named after the World War I battleship Normandy, and was designed by the famous Hungarian architect Ladislav Hudek. During the Cultural Revolution of 1966–76, the Red Guards renamed the building Anti-Revisionist Tower, but local residents referred to it as the Diving Board, because of the dozens of suicides by intellectuals and others who were persecuted as state enemies. For this reason, believers claim it is haunted by the ghosts of persecuted individuals. The ghost story of Weoking Mansion in Shanghai is rooted in its tragic nickname, the Diving Board. While it is a celebrated architectural landmark today, its haunted reputation stems from a dark period during the Cultural Revolution, 1966–1976. The dark history. During the 1960s and 70s, the building was a focal point for political persecution. It earned its grim nickname because dozens of residents, largely intellectuals, artists, and state-persecuted individuals, committed suicide by jumping from its upper-floor balconies. At the time, it was one of the tallest buildings in the French Concession, making it a prominent suicide spot. The legend of Shangguan Yunzu, one of the most enduring stories, involves the famous Chinese film star Shangguan Yunzu. Local legend claims she jumped to her death from her 7th-floor apartment in 1968 after being persecuted and beaten. Some residents have even claimed to smell her perfume in the autumn air near her former residence. Note: while widely cited, Some researchers and family members suggest she may have actually lived and died at a different nearby location, but the story has become inseparable from Wukong Mansion's lore. Reported manifestations. Modern urban legends and believers claim the building is haunted by the restless spirits of those who died there. Common reports include strange, unidentifiable noises and flickering lights in the hallways. Sightings of ghostly figures or shadows on the balconies. A heavy, somber atmosphere felt by some visitors, contrasting with the building's current popularity as a tourist check-in spot. Despite its haunted reputation, Wukong Mansion remains an active residential building and a major cultural icon. Its unique ship-like wedge shape, designed by Hungarian architect Laszlo Hudek, makes it one of the most photographed spots in Shanghai.